Joy, educated. Okay. So those things, why do you feel like those things are important? Repeat business. Okay. Repeat business.
Positive word of mouth.
Okay. Those are some good things. So based on what you heard here today, is any of those things that you said, do you feel that way about our company about giving to the people?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this, so that this way you can go. And have you ever heard of the phrase mind mapping?
Yes.
Okay. So for anybody that hasn't, raise your hand. Never heard of mind mapping. All right. So the thing about mind mapping is that you have all of these ideas inside of your head, right? But you need to take them outside of your head and clearly articulate them to people so that they understand your vision. But you can also do mind mapping in a way that we're going to do it today, where you have what essentially is a focus group, a group of people that are all about the same thing in some way, shape, or form, right? Now, we all came here for some different reason, but we all came here because of business. We all came here because we wanted to learn something, and we hope that whatever we got today was going to be of value. So with that, what I'm going to do is, this is Canva. How many of you know how to use Canva? Okay. So did you know that Canva has a whiteboard feature on it? All right. So for anybody that didn't know that, you just click on it in the front. I already have mine open, so I'm not going to go through that part of it. But a whiteboard, just like if you were in a classroom. Now, if you are seasoned enough, y'all remember blackboards? Yes. Come on, blackboards with the chalk all over the front. Remember, you used to like to go wipe the board and then slap them things together and then be dirty all the rest of the day with all that white chalk all over you? Okay. So whiteboards basically did the exact opposite. Whiteboard said, okay, well, this board is going to be white, and then we're going to give you these black markers so you can mark up the whole thing, right? It's the same kind of concept, but online. So I already have my logo inside of Canva. So I'm going to type in so that I have it in my uploads. And I'm going to start here. Well, no, I don't want to use that one. Hold on. I want to use this one. All right. So I'm going to start here, because what I think is, if we're doing dynamic marketing, we have to think about what our start is. We have to think about what the whole vision is. And I have 3 words that resonate with my business, which are color, confidence, and quality. Okay. We want you to get those things. So I want you to think about, for your business, whenever you have that, what are your 3 words that you want people to say about your business whenever they're talking about you? All right. So pretend if we're mind mapping right now, hold on. And I said, well, what are the things I want people to get from me, right? Color, we want confidence, and we want quality, right? Now, in this business that I already have, those things are already there, okay? But if I said, okay, well, I'm going to market it to people, what are some of those things that are intrinsically interesting to people? So who's the audience that I'm trying to talk to, right? So then I would say, okay, well, let me mind map this out. Who are my people? Now, who's in the room? Women, right? Now, it's a couple of men that came out today, but since we started our first company, Lady Business, women have always been the center point of our business, okay? Now, we love gentlemen, okay? Not just regular men, gentlemen, okay? We love gentlemen, okay? But we have to take into consideration who pays attention on a regular basis. So even for your business, you need to look at the audience, okay? Now, when we market, we do put a lot of women inside of our advertisements, but since we started and we changed to give it to the people, we use Mr. Brown as well, right? So who came up to me? It was somebody when we came up this morning. Oh, she's not even here. I know who it was. She said, y'all look just like the website. Hey. And I was like, thanks. we want to look like what? She said, y'all, I really didn't think y'all was going to look just like the website. And I was like, ma'am, thank you so much. Like, honestly, I feel like that is a great compliment, right? Because there's some people that don't look like the website. It's some people that don't look like the business card, okay? And so those things need to be taken into consideration, because I think people expect it. So for instance, I wanted to get braids, right? I was like, I'm gonna get braids or 2-strand twists. Now, can you tell me why I didn't get them this week? Because somebody was gonna be mad at me and say, girl, where your color at? Okay, I knew that was gonna happen. So I said, well, I can't get braids until after this summit. Then I can rest for a little bit in the summertime, and then I'm gonna pop back out in August with it, right? Like, I literally was like, this is what we need to do, because why? people start to expect a certain thing from you, right? Now, it is totally completely my right to get grades, is it not? But I really thought, oh, somebody's gonna be so sad because they're gonna be like, oh God, where's your color? I was expecting it. All right. And so that's why those things do make a difference when you talk about your audience, right? Now, I want you to tell me some of the things that you felt like you needed help with, and then we're gonna see where we go with this. Give me, you can just yell them out. Hold up here. Let the people talk. Who wants to say words? Okay, what you got?
Networking and building relationships.
Okay, so let me write that down. So she said what she needs is networking and building relationships. Okay, anybody else?
Exposure.
Okay, exposure. Who else?
Funding for creative projects.
Ooh. You need funding. Now, I'm not here to give you money. I'm here to get you close to it, adjacent to the money, okay? Money adjacent, but I'm not here to give money, unless I am. You never know, all right? Anybody else?
Ad creation.
Who creation?
Creating ads.
All right, I just need to make sure that's the word you said. Ad creation, because she might have said something different. Y'all know what's going on at lunchtime downstairs with the phone. All right, so ad creation. Okay, oh girl, make a video. Listen, feed videos are still selling. Anybody that y'all need a secondary income? Feed videos. All right, anybody else? What? They're like, what? She didn't even, yes. Okay, what else? You wrote it down.
Focus plan, 'cause it's just so much.
A focus plan, okay?
For action.
All right, an action plan, okay? Anybody else? Come on, you wrote it down, right?
I didn't write this down, but branding.
Okay, branding, okay. What you,
No,
no,
I
okay,
know something about that.
all right, what you got?
Tools, like I need the tools.
Tools like to do what? Because tools is,
Website building.
okay, she wants specifically website, okay?
Equipment.
Oh, equipment, okay. Now, I don't provide equipment either, but we can get you equipment adjacent.
Inspiration.
Oh, inspiration, I like that. Anybody else?
To build on the tools, knowing the tools you need to buy without wasting money.
Okay. I'm gonna just put this, cause, all right. Okay, anybody else? This is your chance.
Business tax information.
Oh, you know, we love the taxes. We don't love them, but let me rephrase that. We don't love the taxes. Cause especially once you really start making money and you actually have to, you know, start paying, oh my God, you don't really love the taxes. But tax information, right? Okay, so all of you are here. Now, where are you from? Yell it out real quick.
Guilford. Greensboro.
Guilford, High Point, Burlington, Raleigh,
Greensboro.
Charlotte, Greensboro. Okay, so we have people from all over the state, but you're still here at this audience. These are the things that you're telling me that you need, right? So if I were to say, well, let's go ahead, we should build something around what the audience needs. Is there something, if you could get all of these things right here, like in one place, right, whether it's online or in person, that you would spend money on, that you would pay for? Yes. Why?
And it also, it not only saves you time, but it speeds up your process to get to make the money you want to make or to attract the clients you want to attract.
Okay, so the reason you be willing to spend is because it saves time, okay? And then somebody else said some other things. No, if somebody else yelled out something too, what you got? Okay, gets to the goal quicker, right? Which is, you are saying similar things, right? Gets, hold up, let me see. To the goal quicker. All right, anybody else?
I think I was gonna say something. I would just get it because I know I need it. If I need a website, pay for the website.
Okay, and then you in the back, you had your hand raised.
Adds value.
Adds value, okay? Now, this is the thing. Now, I'm not trying to sell you, okay? Because I'm using you guys as a focus group. We were planning on doing this anyway, but when we said, okay, well, what's dynamic? My thing is, it's a lot of stuff that's missing in the business world, specifically here. Now, there are so many resources, right? Okay, come on in. There are so many resources, but what happens is there's a lot for startup, and there's a lot if you are really making a whole bunch of money, right? But what about everybody that's in the middle? What about once you've actually started? What about being able to find a group of like-minded people that are willing to grow with you What about being in something where people are not trying to think that there is scarcity in the market, and so therefore they want to do mine. Have y'all ever seen Daffy Duck? When he did the mine, and then he shrinks and he's so little and the thing is so big and he can't get to it. So we said, well, listen, we are going to create a membership. And the thing about a membership is, guess what you need? Okay, good job. Y'all are so smart. Oh, that's great, right? Okay, you need members. But what we said was what's missing specifically. So in-person events, because we still need to have this unparalleled connection, okay? But I think a lot of times, and I'm not trying to say necessarily that an organization gets it wrong, because there are plenty of organizations that have been out here for a long time that are operating a certain way, and people like the way that they operate. But what I found is there may be a gap even in between what the small business center can offer and even in between what you actually need, right? So how many of you have attended one of my classes before, whether it was online or in person? Okay, so we got a nice little group of people. So everybody else that hasn't, at least today, you're getting to experience a small little snippet of it. But the thing that I like is being able to give people the things you said that you needed was tools, resources, you need that connection, and you need someone to not gatekeep the things that you need. Because a lot of times people want you to spend a whole lot of money to get a whole lot of nothing, okay? And if you've ever been privy to that, you don't want to do that because then now you're wasting your time and your money, and we don't have either one of those things to waste. So we said, okay, if we're going to do dynamic marketing, let's talk about what people actually need and then be able to turn that into a product that makes sense. But also, what we did was, before COVID, we had a nonprofit, okay, called Real Glow Getters. Turned out wonderful, everything was good, but then COVID happened and we had to focus on things that made more money instead of the nonprofit. And the thing about this is that we kept it just for women. And we kept it just for women in North Carolina. And we said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to broaden this one. Open to men, open to anybody who wants to join that's in North Carolina that has a business, but it doesn't just have to be North Carolina based. Because we said we want to make sure that this way is technology involved, where people are online to be able to teach you some of those master classes that you need. So for instance, Sheila today. How many of you loved Sheila's session this morning? Sheila's session was awesome sauce. But a lot of times the small business centers don't teach about leadership because that's not necessarily seen as a thing that you need to grow your business. It sounds a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but they want something that's a little bit different when they talk about just some of the classes that are being offered, things that are more metric based, right? I'm not saying you can't measure leadership, but I'm just saying I felt like it was necessary to put that in today. Because when you talk about where we're at today and some of the things that we want to learn and how we communicate with each other, that makes a difference, right? The other thing we said was, well, if we have professionals that need to make money and they're good at a particular service, but nobody knows about them, how are they going to get their word out? So my friend that just moved here from LA, if she's good at what she does and she can teach somebody else something, that could be a very easy way for her to be able to gain clients, right? So I want you to think about this. If that exists, and now it can travel in different places in North Carolina, and if you decided, look, I want to be a speaker, if you decided I want to be an exhibitor, and you have this network of people that are there to be able to support your business, doesn't that make sense for you to invest in, right? So I want you to think about this. The way that I'm doing this presentation and talking about dynamic marketing, think about the same exact concept for your business. Break your business out and really see what's the audience that's really actually coming to see you. What's the audience that's really spending their time and money? And all of these things that you guys listed here in this particular section, guess what you told me? And so if you went to LaShawn's session, she iterated this. So this is why I say I'm the wrap up. I pull it all together. What's the word if you went to LaShawn's session where she told you specifically about your customers? Because these are the things you told me you needed, right? It starts with a P.
Yes, I look, it's like psychographical determinants.
Not that one.
Not that one? Oh, I don't know.
Anybody else? Okay, so your pain points. I told you to tell me what you needed, right? And the problem is oftentimes you think people need something that they don't actually need. So the problem is you're not really serving the right audience when you're looking at it, right? So what we like to look at is primarily existing businesses, but also startup businesses. And so that means you have different needs, okay? Raise your hand if you're a startup business. Did you go to the EDPEC session? Okay. Did you learn what you needed specifically to start your business? Okay, there was no thought about, oh, maybe I go this direction. No, these are the people from the state telling you exactly what you need. And sometimes you need that exact person and that exact thing, just like raise your hand if you went to the Department of Revenue session. Okay, do you have your money together? Did she teach you exactly what you needed to if you were going to sell online so that this way you can have those taxes together? And this is the issue. A lot of times these classes exist, but where are they? Where do you find them? You find them online, but where else? Online where? And what courses where?
Well, where you course like the coaches sell those.
Coaches, okay. But did you just give me, I just gave you a whole bunch of different things, right? All of them have their own website. Where's the one site that you go to find out all of the things that are together? That's the problem, right? Yeah, but the SBC doesn't have every class that's out there. So the SBC, depending on which SBC, some of them partner with the Department of Revenue. Some of them will partner with SBTDC, or they'll partner with EDPNC. It's a whole bunch of acronyms, y'all. Okay, so some of them will, but it's different at every SBC. Okay, so you have to kind of take into consideration that there are things that you need for your business that exceed what they have. And guess what else? When you go to class online, what happens? Do you? Okay, she said she gets distracted.
I'm still working full-time jobs, so I'm trying to stick it in.
Okay, so that means you're doing something else and you're working on the classes. But tell me, what do you know about online classes?
What I don't like online classes.
Not what you don't like, but just what you know. But if you want to give me that, that's fine.
Most people don't finish.
If it's a whole course, they might not. But if it's a class that's an hour or 2 hours and it's something you want to learn, you probably can knock that out, right? Yes, and long courses, a lot of times people don't finish. How much time do you have every day to take a course? She said, first off, so she didn't even, she said, no, all right? I like that answer though, but she said, Okay, so this is the thing. Whenever you're talking about taking these courses and you're talking about being online, online happens when online happens. It's a certain time, it's a certain day, and it's a certain duration, right? Does that fit into your schedule? Not necessarily. But what if the classes were recorded, where then you could go and you could watch them at your leisure, okay? What if you knew that it was a really, really great speaker and you would carve out time in your day to be on there live because you really want to ask questions live, right? So it depends. Your flexibility and your capacity is all the way up to you. But the average person may not have time to be on that class live right when it's happening. And even if they are, they might get distracted. And so a lot of times, just so you know, with the SBCs, typically they don't pay for replays. So if you're like, oh, well, is there a replay? No, because they have to pay us to teach. And so that means in order for another set of people to be able to get access to those classes, then they need to pay again. They have a budget that is limited, just like you as a business owner, you have a budget. So when you're talking about your dynamic marketing, you also need to look at the time and the place of things, okay? So when you look at this, what's the best day of sales that you have? If you're looking at any particular day, you got so many sales, this is a day that you can probably count on every week that you're gonna bring in some money. Saturday?
Tuesday.
Okay, so whatever day it is, what are you doing for your marketing before that happens? What's the question? What are you doing before you get those good sales, all right? So hopefully you're planning, hopefully you're sending emails, maybe you're making videos, maybe you're posting on social media, but something has to happen on a regular basis, which also means you need what I like to call the 90-day focus. You need an actual plan to be able to make those things happen. And are you real people?
Yes.
Do you have real lives? Oh my God, and you have the nerve to want to be entrepreneurs? Oh goodness. So that means if you add all of that up, that there is a lot that's going on in your life. And so I like to plan downtime. I like to plan in time that today is not a work day, you know, and that we do some things that are for the business and then we do some things that are not for the business. But you have to make that happen in your marketing. So let me tell you what's going to happen. Probably now, you probably should have an email already that is telling you, thank you for coming. And you should already have an email that is also have the link with the Google thing for you to have pictures and also asking you any pictures and videos, would you upload them into that folder. Now, how do I know that? You better tell me I scheduled it. Yeah, of course I scheduled it, okay? Guess what? Because I had some people ask me, they said, well, are you tired? And I said, no, I'm not tired yet. First of all, I just drank a little bit more Red Bull, just a little bit. And I said, the thing is, I don't get tired until after these things are over. My energy level is already at 100, so then you add in 125 more percent to that. I'm not going to get tired until after we're done, right? But the thing is, after you're done, you're tired. Do you want to go and post pictures and put up everything after you come to the event? Do you want to go send emails and all of those things? But you knew you were coming. You knew you were doing things. Now for you, it's different because you're coming and experiencing this. So you had all day where you had time to post in between, unless you were actually learning and unless you were actually networking and connecting. Doesn't mean you didn't take pictures. It just means the average person did not post immediately, okay? So I want you to understand something about our society today. We are overwhelmed. Raise your hand if you're overwhelmed. Now let me tell you why you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed because there has never been a time in history like right now where everybody has access to you 24 hours a day, okay? Who used to have a phone with a cord that you have to pull into the other room to talk onto the phone, okay? All right, whose mama used to have to bring the phone? Is he? I'm gonna see if he's here. I'm gonna see if she's here, right? And then screen your call and give you the phone. Anybody? Y'all had that? Okay. Who remembers cordless phones with the antenna that you pull out? Okay, y'all. This is my people right here. All right. Who remembers CD players in the car? Because you know they don't have them in the car anymore. Tapes, cassettes. Okay, 45s. Okay. So do you understand? Huh? What we got else? The 8-track? Yes, because we did have an old car that had 8-track in it back in the day, right?
Albums.
So the albums, which I still have albums, we collect albums.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. If you come from that generation, everything is moving so rapidly. Now, Renee touched on it earlier, but what happens with marketing is it is the same as it's always been, it's just different. It's still word of mouth. It's just where's the word of mouth going to? It's still, I like this, testimonial. And then where's that testimonial going to? So you have to take into consideration, we specifically put things in today where there's a QR code on everybody that presented today so that you can leave feedback immediately for those people, right? We want you to fill that out when you leave, but it's right outside the door. And the thing is that QR code is now a world of possibilities for you. So I want you to understand, a QR code can mean money to you. Because if somebody has something to scan that goes to a place where it connects money, that's money to you. A QR code could mean that's your marketing. How many of you would feel comfortable doing a video for about 1 minute to talk about your business? And I'm not gonna put you on the spot, okay? So don't get scared, all right? Because then people won't raise their hands. So if you feel comfortable doing that, instead of you having to introduce yourself every time, you can have a link that goes somewhere and introduce your business, okay? However professional, however, I love a little bohemian. I like to be out in the woods. Sometimes it doesn't look like it, okay, because I'm cute right now, but I do. I love a good woods. Give me a good pond, honey. I live for that. So the thing is, if that's what I want represented in my business, then I want to show you that. So the problem is, you're looking at marketing like it's some new thing. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. It is a thing that has already been happening, but now you just need to put the technology part into it. And in my opinion, you don't have to do all the things, but I know you can talk about your business, which is why we started out giving you that, hopefully, that empowerment to be able to voice, hey, this is what my business is about. I want to talk to you about such and such. I would love for you to know X, Y, Z. Now, you can be as ostentatious as you want. He's going to have the man in green. I don't think I've ever seen this man I've probably known you at least 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything other than green, okay? He is very specific about his branding, right? We are very specific to color, just in general, a whole bunch of color now. But the thing is, what's awesome about your business? What do people need to get from you? And so I think that when you really look at that and you go down to the core of it, your marketing can be awesome, right? You might want to wear t-shirts that say, ask me about my business, and it's a QR code on a t-shirt. You might want to put a QR code or your website on your car if you feel like that's what you want to do. It's not one way to do this. It's a lot of different ways. And if you want to be dynamic, what are the other people not doing? Okay. And then sometimes what are they doing that's working? Look at that. All right. So I want you to think about this. If I said to you, okay, this membership is on sale today. We're gonna go ahead and we're opening it up. We're not doing this, right? Because we're not allowed to sell these things, and I always follow the rules. But if I said to you, we can help you with these things, we can help impact your business, we can help you to be able to connect to more people, we can help you with your marketing, your PR, be able to get on wonderful shows like Renee's or any of those things, would that be something that you'd be willing to invest in? Okay, so therefore, what I want you to consider is, it's the same thing with your business. Look at your business like it's a membership. You want people to keep coming every month. You want them to have recurring revenue where they're gonna spend with you over and over again, okay? Now I need you to know something. Renee was talking about she loved her flowers. I love flowers. Now, Trader Joe's has me in a slight chokehold. I don't know if y'all been to Trader Joe's, but instead of going to Trader Joe's, I would rather go where I went to get those, to the farmer's market, to go to the farmers that actually farm in this state and have a living off of that. Trader Joe's is gonna be fine whether I spend $3.99 on a bunch or $12.99 on a bunch on a weekly basis. But that farmer, that's more important to me. Not only that, the farmer has stuff Trader Joe's is never gonna have, okay? So you have to consider, if you want people to keep coming back to your business, what are you gonna give them that's dynamic enough for them to feel like they need to do that? And sometimes it's accessibility, right? I am not here to be accessible to people 24 hours a day. Okay, I really don't want you to call me after 6 p.m. Please don't do that. I mean, unless you're calling me like I have some money, call me. Just go ahead. Put it on in there, call me, right? But the reason is because boundaries do matter, okay? And so because we have so much connectivity with online, people feel like you should be there 24/7 for them. It is not realistic. But it doesn't mean that your business should not be up online 24 hours a day, okay? Your business can do that, but it's not humanly possible for you to do that and be successful at what you're doing. So I want you to think about this. When I talk about dynamic marketing, I want you to figure out how you want to do it your way, okay? I also want you to figure out the fact that if you look at your business and skew it just a little bit, what's going to make people keep coming back to keep giving you that money every month, right? Month, week, or whatever it is. So I can tell you now, my beautician knows out of 52 weeks in the year, I'm probably gonna be there 52. Only reason I'm not gonna be there is because she's on vacation. And unless my schedule does not mix with hers, which I make my schedule mix with hers, I'm gonna be at the beauty shop every week, okay? So she knows she can count on my dollars. I am going to be there, all right? Vanity is a really crazy thing. I mean, I'm not that vain, but this head gotta look like something. So therefore, I make sure that we are at the beauty shop 9 o'clock on Wednesdays. So if anybody ever wanted to jump me, that's where I'd be, okay? If y'all wanted to run after me, if you want to run up on me, now don't do that. But if you wanted to, you know we'll be at the beauty shop at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays, all right? And so that's the thing though, predictable income is what comes with marketing. Okay, the reason that you're struggling, if you are, because everybody's not struggling, but it's because you can't predict your income. All right, now my income fluctuates because I don't know necessarily when I'm going to get a check. I have to submit an invoice, and then after I submit an invoice, they have up to 30 days to pay. There was a time when that felt like a million gazillion years. Okay, now I'm just like, oh, thanks, check, it's in the mail. But it's because of the marketing. And I need you to really understand that people are always watching when you think they're not. So that means you have to give them something to look at. And if you don't give them something to look at, somebody else will. All right. So if that means take those new pictures, do it. If that means update that bio, do it. If that means that you need to do some more videos because you're comfortable doing that, then do it. But I promise you, now people will say, okay, should you post every day? You can. But you need to at least post once a week. If you feel comfortable and you have the capacity to do it every day, do it every day. The thing that's getting 1 or 2 likes, okay, but what does the bank account look like? All right, that's a drastic difference. And I promise you, people are looking and they want to spend money with you, but you just have to be dynamic. So can you now think of your business as a subscription service? And if you did, are those people going to keep letting you run their card every week, every month, every 2 weeks, whenever it is, when they get paid, that it's a guarantee that that is where they want to spend their money? Can you do that for me? Okay, well, if you can do that, then you are amazing. We would love for you to be able to grow your business. I didn't do a big, gigantic presentation like that because I wanted to do something that I felt like would be more impactful for you as individuals. And I think that oftentimes we get so bogged down in the weeds of do this particular thing. We have plenty of classes for do this particular thing, all right? So come to those. But today, this was about your mental wealth. Do you feel wealthy?
Yes.
Do you feel like you got what you paid for? Even though none of y'all paid for anything, but it's okay. It was free. You paid for it with your time, correct? Okay, so then you paid for it. So if you got what you paid for today, give yourself a round of applause. Yes. All right. So I like to end on time. It should be right at 4 o'clock. So guess what? It's been an amazing day. Some of us have been here since 8 a.m., some since 9, and whenever else you felt like you trickled in. But was it worth your time today?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just give you a rundown. So we specifically give it to the people. Next week, we will be in Moorhead City, which is out near the beach. We'll be doing a Canvas Summit that's all day. So that's going to be a work on specific things. We are going to have our Black Biz Summit August 2nd. In Durham. That one is paid, so I'm just telling you in advance. And it's open to everybody. It's just Black centric, so that's the theme of that one. And then in between there, we have a class at least once per week. So there is always something that you can learn. And for this membership that we put together today with what your help was, it will be launching, but it'll be September this year, okay? So be on the lookout for it. But if you have time on Tuesday next week, I want you to come to Carborough, North Carolina. So we'll have resources there in Carborough. It's a lovely building. It is going to have food and beverage. It is free from 6 to 8 p.m. Latasha, that was downstairs with Infinity Bridges, she is hosting it. I also want you to know, because I'm trying to give you a bunch of resources before you go. Latasha's company is also doing certification, so that this way, if you want to do business in Durham, you can do business in Durham. Also here in Alamance, they have a loan fund that works through the what's the thing called? Chamber of Commerce. So if you are in Alamance County, then that may be something that you can apply for to get funding for your business, what you want to get. And then this is, every Monday, the Alamance Leads Group, they meet from 8 to 9, and they do have a Zoom, and they have it in person. So if you're at the other campus at Dillingham, on Plaza Drive in Burlington, then you can go down to there. And I've been to it, it's a lot of great people in there. So there are plenty of things, but the problem is, sometimes you just need to organize it, okay? And then you need to have someone to help you to just kind of say, okay, this is what you need today. So I want to just encourage you to keep growing and going with your business, all right? And then I also want to encourage you to come on down here so we can get one big final picture. Because I take the big one, and then I take the picture with the people that stay to the end because y'all are the super best, okay? All right. All right.
What do we do with the stickies?
So please, hold up. The stickies, can you please leave them on the table, because we're gonna take them so that we can see your feedback. And then there was no, Karen, the registration sheet that was for this one, can you just make sure everybody before you leave that you sign in on the registration sheet? And if you wanna leave feedback for this particular session, there's a QR code out there.
There's care that has to happen here.
And then that's the QR code that you can leave feedback for the session, and then if you want to connect with us too. Yes, ma'am. Okay, you can see yourself in here. Y'all might need to scoop. I do not. I got this one with me on this side. Okay, got it already? All right, I don't know when it's slowly. I guess we said it. Yeah. Okay, let me do this one. I got the vertical right here. Okay, one more. Hold on. Y'all know we used to say give it to people. Okay, turn that to the video for me. Come on in. Come on in. We need her to keep her good work going, so we don't need the needs to break out. Just, you know what? Just take the phone off and then just you do it. And then just do a pan so we can be real fun. Okay, so this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to get Phil out of control looking so they be like, oh my gosh, no, come up here so you can get like in and out and stuff, like real crazy looking, like, you know what I'm talking about? You know, exciting, right? Okay, you got it? Okay.
It's a video now.
Yeah, it's a video now. So this is why you get excited for the video part. You will get an email that will have an evaluation of the whole entire summit from Alamance. So please fill that out because that's how we keep these things rolling, okay? Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thank you. Leave your stickies up on that front table, that white table. And then if you can still sign in for us for this last session, that'd be great. And if you do want to leave feedback, that poster that's out there, or you can scan the small one right there. Yep. You're welcome. Yes. Okay. Who was? Oh, Elon. That's not from Elon, but I couldn't go that day. They asked me to speak, but I couldn't. Well, listen, the one in August is charged. We don't have to. Okay. I need to pay him. Right outside, they have a sign sheet right out there.
That's fine.